Hey, what's going on, guys? Coming at you with the Barrier Statue deck that I took to locals yesterday and got first place in our Win-A-Box tournament. Now, I know I said in the last profile of this a few months ago that I'd be putting this deck on the shelf for a while, but I did decide kind of last minute before going into this box tournament yesterday to play it. Basically, I felt like it was my last opportunity to play this competitively before True Dracos become official as of today, and True Dracos absolutely shit on this deck, and it's basically the best deck of this coming format. So I figured it'd be, a good way to give it its last nostalgia run since I do really like the deck, and it has given me, some good times. So it worked out really well. There's a few changes in the build that actually worked out really well, but for the most part, a lot of it's the same from like the previous million profiles I've given to you guys. So I'll try to go through this pretty quickly. We actually did have a pretty good turnout for this box tournament. I believe it was 18 people. Round 1, I played against 60-card Zombies, beat that 2-0. Round 2, played against Buster Blade Magician, beat that 2-0. Round 3, I finally broke the curse with Robbie Riley, beating his Metal Foe Zoo 2-1. And then final round, beat Connor's 60-card Burning Abyss in a highly contested 3-game match. So we'll go ahead and get right into the deck profile. So Monster Land's pretty much the same. We of course have the triple Fossil Dyna, the triple Stormwinds, and the double Torrent. You could mix up the ratios on the attributes if you want, like maybe playing the dark or playing more of the water and less of the wind, but overall it was pretty good. I'd usually like side out either the water or the wind depending on the matchup. Spells, we of course have the same, broken draw cards, the triple Card Demise, triple Pod Duality, and double Pod Desires. Desires was really good in the box tournament. Didn't have any unlucky, Desires hits like I did at the Columbus Regional. I did have like 2 or 3 times where I had a Demise for 2 cards though because I drew too many monsters, which sucked. But overall, the draw cards, obviously were really good. Same with the triple Mage Power. Just made a lot of my games end a lot quicker and made my, Benny's Emptiness monsters really, really beefy. Then throughout the spells, we have the 1 Book of Moon and 1 Raigeki. I really like the decision to put Raigeki back in the main. It did help out a lot. Same with the Book of Moon. These were good if I was forced to go second and needed to get something off the board or flip something face down. So that's it for spells. For traps, we of course have the standard triple Dark Bribe because we need to gate things like Twin Twisters, Mirror Forces, Forbidden Chalices, things like that. Then the new addition to the deck, and this was probably MVP for the whole tournament, the Free Dimension Guardian. So this card actually came out in the movie pack. I really kind of hate myself for not even thinking about this card when the movie pack came out. But it is activated by targeting a face-up attack position monster you control, and it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And if the monster leaves the field, destroy this card. So this is basically a safe zone on crack because it just protects your barrier statues and your Fossil Dyna from any kind of destruction. And then even if they get rid of this, the monster still stays. So they basically need to have 2 forms of removal in most cases to be able to get rid of your barrier statue or Dyna. So Dimension Guardian overall was a really stupid card and really saved my ass a lot of times. Then of course we still have the triple Solemn Strike. Now I did change up the Mirror Force ratio a bit. I decided to go 2 Mirror Force and 2 Storming Mirror Force. I think overall this was probably the right decision. There were some matchups where I'd side out a Mirror Force or a Storming depending on which was better. But I think bumping up the Battle Traps with the 4 was appropriate because I did see them more often. Just playing the free Storming I don't think was necessarily enough to be able to protect my barrier statues. And then since we're playing the Free Dimension Guardian, I did bump down the ratio of the Phantom Knights cards to 2 swords and 2 wings. Still really good for the protection and really good as well for the attack boosts. Excuse me. Another new addition to the deck is the 1 Imperial Order with the new errata from Duelist Saga. This did come into play once against Buster Blade Magicians. Pretty much was a blowout when I resolved it, and it's one of those cards where if you see it, it's really good. The only issue is if it does negate your Mage Power, but other than that, it just shuts off Twin Twisters completely, shuts off Power Spells completely, Dark Hole, Raigeki, and it's just really good. And then finally, to round out the main deck, we have the 1 Solemn Warning. Then the extra deck is just pretty much a bluff extra deck of all fusions. Of course, my favorite one of all time, Blaze Phoenix. I'll just go ahead and flash these all really quickly. Actually going to be doing a profile here soon of Ancient Gear since I got the structure decks, and I have some cards coming in the mail to complete that deck. And then, as I said, the rest of these are just kind of, you know, bluff extra deck cards, you know, just because. Especially if you want to actually get this deck a run, going into going into the new format with 2 Dracos, it's good to at least play a bluff extra deck because if your opponent sees you playing no extra deck, they'll probably assume that you're playing 2 Dracos. Although you could use that as like a bluff on its own, because most people going first against that deck will make a Abyss Dweller, and the Abyss Dweller doesn't really do anything to this deck. So for the side deck, instead of the other attribute Barrier Statue, I decided to do 2 Jowgen. I think this was the right choice. The Raigeki effect actually did come into play against Connor's Burning Abyss. It was actually pretty good. And then just in general, having another Fossil Dyna is pretty good. Only reason I don't main it is because in game 1, you know, losing the 800 attack compared to like a Barrier Statue isn't too ideal. Then of course the free Forbidden Lance, you know, for Paleos or any really trap heavy deck, sided in against Burning Abyss, and it was pretty decent. The free MST for Royal Decree. The only 2 games I lost throughout the tournament were to Royal Decree. You know, Robbie Riley always ends up getting that second decree after I MST his first, so yeah, still, that's obviously why I played free MST. I don't know, maybe I should play, you know, Eccentric or something like that too. Then we have, for board wipes, the 2 Dark Hole and 2 Swords of Concealing Light. Never sided in the Swords, but did side in the Dark Hole a lot. I think the 2 Dark Hole Raigeki and Book may be enough, but the Sword's just there just in case, especially after what happened to me in Columbus when I like banished all 4 of my board wipe cards when I needed out a DDD board. So yeah, the 2 Swords are just there for extra board wipes. Then for the final side deck card, the free Chaos Shrapnel for Denko and for Jinzo. Alright, so that is it for this deck profile / tournament report of my Barrier Statues that I got first place with at our local Win-A-Box tournament. I will leave a link in the description below to the box opening of Booster Box Maximum Crisis. The title is not clickbait. It was actually a very epic box opening, and if you just kick back and watch, it's only about 12 minutes, you will see just how epic the box actually was. So remember guys, to like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you guys next time.